My dear friends, life often hands us burdens that we come to accept as normal, yet they weigh us down in ways we scarcely notice. These burdens are not the visible, tangible things we carry on our backs, but the invisible anchors tied to our hearts and minds. They whisper lies that tell us we must endure them, that they are part of who we are, or worse, that we cannot live without them. But I ask you, have you stopped to examine these burdens? Have you questioned their place in your life? Some of these burdens come in the form of voices both within and without. They are the voices of fear, telling you that you are not enough. The voices of doubt, whispering that your dreams are too big, that your efforts are futile, and that you should settle for a life smaller than the one you were meant to live. These voices are not your allies, they are intruders. Yet, because they speak so softly and persistently, we let them stay. But why should you carry what is not yours? Why should you allow voices that do not believe in you to shape your path? Then there are the invisible chains of habit, the things we do day after day that seem insignificant in the moment, but slowly pull us away from the life we truly desire. Perhaps it is the habit of postponing your dreams for a tomorrow that never comes. Or maybe it is the habit of indulging in comforts that soothe you in the short term, but steal your strength for the long run. These chains do not announce themselves as enemies, they masquerade as harmless, even helpful. Yet they tighten around your potential with each passing day. And what of the people who sit at your table? There are those who lift you, who inspire you, and who see in you what you sometimes cannot see in yourself. Treasure them, for they are your allies in the great battle of life. But there are others, those who sow seeds of discouragement, who belittle your dreams, and who prefer you weak because it makes them feel strong. They may not intend harm, but their presence is like a shadow over your light. You must ask yourself, can I flourish while surrounded by those who do not believe in my growth? These burdens, my friends, are not harmless. They rob you of the energy, the clarity, and the freedom needed to pursue your calling. They disguise themselves as parts of your identity, as things you cannot let go. But let me tell you, you are not defined by these weights. You are defined by your courage to remove them. It is not easy, but it is necessary. Search your life with unflinching honesty. Find these weights and cast them aside, for you were not made to crawl beneath a heavy load. You were made to soar. Remove them, not tomorrow, not someday, remove them right now. Picture a gardener who desires a garden full of vibrant blooms, a place of beauty and peace. He plants the seeds, waters them faithfully, and waits for life to unfold. But what happens if he neglects the weeds? They creep in quietly, slowly, but with relentless determination. At first they seem harmless, even insignificant. Yet, if left unchecked, they begin to choke the life out of the flowers, stealing the nutrients and sunlight meant for growth. Before long, the garden becomes overrun, and its potential is lost. Now, consider your life as that garden. Each goal you set, each dream you nurture, is a seed planted with hope and intention. But alongside these seeds, the weeds of distraction, doubt, and negativity often take root. They may not demand much attention at first, but their presence is insidious. These weeds show up in the form of unnecessary obligations that pull you away from what matters most, in toxic relationships that drain your energy, and in habits that seem small yet slowly undermine your progress. The gardener knows that the flourishing of his flowers is not a matter of chance but of choice. He does not wait for the weeds to grow tall before addressing them. No, he kneels in the soil daily, pulling out anything that threatens the life he has so carefully cultivated. He does not make excuses for the weeds, nor does he sentimentalize their presence. He acts swiftly and decisively because he understands that every moment he delays, the weeds grow stronger and the flowers grow weaker. So too must you be vigilant. Look at the garden of your life. Where have the weeds crept in? What tasks, commitments, or distractions have taken root and begun to overshadow your priorities? Perhaps it is the habit of saying yes to things that do not align with your purpose, simply because saying no feels uncomfortable. Or maybe it is the influence of those who speak words of doubt and discouragement into your life, even as you strive to grow. Whatever the weeds may be, do not tolerate them. Do not wait for the perfect time to act, for every moment of delay allows them to dig their roots deeper into your soul. Remember, the gardener does not weep for the weeds he removes, he rejoices for the space he creates. And when you remove what no longer serves your growth, you too will find freedom and clarity. The sunlight of your purpose will shine brighter, and the nourishment of your efforts will flow where it is truly needed. Do not hesitate. Tend to your garden with care and remove the weeds right now, for the beauty of your life depends on it. In the company we keep lies the power to shape our destiny. The people around us are not mere ornaments in the story of our lives, they are collaborators, shaping the narrative with every word and action. Some inspire us to reach for heights we never imagined, while others, whether intentionally or not, clip the wings we were meant to spread. To walk the path of purpose, you must choose wisely who walks beside you. There are those who enter our lives and bring light with them. Their words encourage, their presence uplifts, and their actions remind us of what we can become. They are the ones who challenge us when we falter, not out of cruelty, but out of love. They refuse to let us settle for mediocrity because they see the greatness within us, even when we cannot. These are the souls who help us build, who plant seeds of hope and possibility, and who celebrate our victories as if they were their own. Such people are treasures, rare and invaluable. But there are others, those who seem to linger like shadows, offering neither support nor inspiration. They thrive in your hesitation, in your doubts, because your uncertainty justifies their own. They may not overtly discourage you, but their subtle words and actions chip away at your resolve. They question your dreams, not because they see flaws in your vision, but because your courage to dream reveals the lack of courage in their own. And there are some whose intentions are not even veiled, they undermine your efforts, belittle your aspirations, and revel in your struggles. Such companions are not allies but obstacles. Understand this: your journey is sacred. It is a path uniquely yours, designed for the fulfillment of your purpose. To walk it, you need companions who align with your values, who support your growth, and who rejoice in your progress. Anyone who hinders that journey, no matter how long they have been in your life or how close they once were, must be removed from your circle. This is not an act of cruelty or bitterness, it is an act of love for your future self. It may feel uncomfortable to let go of certain people. After all, some relationships are deeply rooted in history or sentimentality. But remember this: holding on to someone who holds you back is not loyalty, it is self-sabotage. You are not betraying them by choosing to step away, you are honoring the call on your life. Do so with kindness, but also with conviction, for your calling is too important to be delayed by the weight of unhealthy connections. Seek out those who sharpen you, who inspire you to become the best version of yourself. And to those who do not, release them without resentment. Your journey is too significant, your potential too vast, to allow anyone to dim your light. Surround yourself with those who fan the flames of your purpose, and remove those who cast shadows over your path. Do it now, and watch how brightly your life begins to shine. Imagine for a moment standing in the company of those who truly care for you. They do not flatter you endlessly, nor do they let you drift aimlessly without challenge or correction. Instead, they speak with the kind of honesty that pierces through your complacency. They tell you not what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. Such people are rare gifts in a world full of shallow approval and empty affirmations. Yet, It is these voices of truth that guide us, shape us, and call us to rise higher than we thought possible. The path to growth is not always paved with comfort. Sometimes it requires us to face the hard truths about ourselves, truths we would rather avoid. But those who love you in the deepest sense are unafraid to bring these truths to light. They see your potential as greater than your present, and they refuse to let you settle for less. Their words may sting at times, like a surgeon's scalpel cutting away what is harmful, but their aim is never to harm. Their aim is to heal, to strengthen, and to guide you toward the life you were meant to live. Contrast this with the voices of those who offer only hollow comfort. They cheer you on when you remain in mediocrity, because your stagnation reassures them about their own. They do not challenge you, not because they believe in your choices, but because they fear the discomfort of conflict. Such people are not interested in your growth, they are content with your sameness. And while their presence may feel easy, it is not helpful. You must choose, then, which voices you will allow into the sacred space of your heart. Will you surround yourself with those who challenge you, even at the risk of discomfort, because they desire your ultimate good? Or will you settle for those who keep you comfortable in your smallness, at the expense of your greatness? The decision is yours, and it is not a trivial one, for it will shape the direction of your life. Seek out those who sharpen you, for iron sharpens iron. Value the friends, mentors, and companions who care enough to call you higher, even when it is not what you want to hear. Let them speak into your life with clarity and conviction, and thank them for their courage. At the same time, be willing to walk away from voices that keep you tethered to the ground when you were meant to soar. Do not be afraid to let go of what is easy to embrace what is essential. The journey ahead requires strength, vision, and courage, and you cannot afford to be surrounded by those who do not believe in your capacity to rise. Remove the hollow voices. Welcome the voices of truth. Do it now, and you will find yourself walking boldly into the life you were destined to live. Deep within you, there is a voice that speaks louder than any external noise, though it often whispers instead of shouting. It is the voice of your doubts, your fears, your insecurities. It knows the right moments to rise when you're on the brink of a bold decision, when you're daring to step into the unknown, or when you've just begun to dream of something greater. This voice cloaks itself in reason and caution, but its aim is singular, to keep you from becoming who you were meant to be. But let me tell you this, that voice is not your own. It is not the truth about you. It is the echo of every fear you've ever felt, every hurt you've ever endured, every rejection you've ever faced. It pretends to protect you, but in reality, it is robbing you. It is stealing your courage, your joy, and your future. You were not created to be ruled by doubt. You were made to walk in faith, to trust in the gifts and purpose within you, and to rise above every fear that tells you to stay small. You have faced challenges before and overcome them. You have walked through dark seasons and found your way to the light. The same strength that carried you then is still within you now, and it is greater than any whisper of doubt or fear. And remember, you are not alone in this battle. There are others who have silenced their own inner critic, who have walked through the fire of doubt and emerged stronger on the other side. Surround yourself with their stories, their wisdom, and their encouragement. Let their voices drown out the one that seeks to hold you back. Do not let the whispers of fear shape the course of your life. They do not belong to you. They are not your inheritance. Remove them. Not someday, not when you feel strong enough. Remove them right now. Step boldly into the truth of who you are, and let that truth lead you to a life of courage, purpose, and freedom. There is a strange power in the small, unnoticed things we do each day. A single action may seem trivial, but repeated over time, it carves deep grooves into the fabric of our lives. These habits, born of countless small choices, become the architects of our destiny. They shape not only what we do but who we are becoming. Yet not all habits are allies on our journey. Some are quiet saboteurs, leading us away from the path we are meant to walk. Do not be deceived by their size. A habit may be small, but its influence is great. Consider a ship at sea. A slight adjustment in its course, if maintained, will lead it to an entirely different destination over time. So it is with your habits. Each one, no matter how insignificant it seems, is steering your life in a particular direction. The question is, where are they taking you? To address these habits requires courage, for it is not easy to face the truth about ourselves. It is easier to tell ourselves that the habit is harmless, that it is too small to matter, or that it will resolve itself someday. But these are comforting lies. The habits that hold you back will not disappear on their own. They must be confronted. They must be removed. Begin by identifying them. Be honest with yourself about the patterns in your life that do not align with your values and goals. Do not excuse them, nor minimize their impact. Then take deliberate action to replace them. For a habit cannot simply be erased, it must be replaced with something better. Replace procrastination with progress, distraction with focus, and indulgence with discipline. Even if the change feels small at first, know that it is a seed planted in the soil of your future. The habits that hinder you have no rightful place in your life. They are not part of your true identity, and they are not destined to remain. Remove them with intention, with grace, and with urgency. Do it now, for every day they linger is a day they shape. Take hold of your choices, and you will take hold of your future. There is a lie we often tell ourselves, and it is this: there is plenty of time. We convince ourselves that we can afford to wait, that there will always be a better moment, a more convenient season, a future day when the stars will align and action will come easily. But this is a dangerous illusion. Time is not a luxury we possess in abundance. It is a gift that slips through our fingers faster than we realize. The truth is, there is no perfect moment. There is no ideal day when the risks will vanish, the fear will subside, and the path will be free of obstacles. Waiting for perfection is like waiting for the ocean to still its waves. Life is dynamic, ever-changing, and full of uncertainties. But it is also full of opportunities for those who dare to act despite the uncertainty. You must understand that action, even imperfect action, has power. It is in the doing, not the waiting, that clarity comes. You may not have all the answers now, but you do not need them to begin. Take the first step, no matter how small, and trust that the way forward will become clearer as you move. The journey is revealed to the traveler, not to the one who stands still. Do not let another day slip by while you wait for the perfect conditions. The longer you wait, the stronger the chains of inaction become. Break them now, not tomorrow. The time you have is finite, and every moment is an opportunity to move closer to your purpose. Act with urgency. The world is waiting for the gifts only you can offer, the change only you can make, and the light only you can bring. Start now, even if the step feels small or uncertain. Do it not because it is easy, but because it is necessary. Do it because the life you desire depends on it. Do it because tomorrow is not promised, but today is here, and it is enough. Remove the hesitation, the excuses, the waiting, and step boldly into action right now. The mind is a sacred space, a place where dreams are born, plans are forged, and the essence of who we are takes shape. Yet, like any space, it is vulnerable to what we allow to enter. Every thought, every idea, every word we dwell on leaves a mark, shaping our perspective, our actions, and ultimately our lives. If we are not vigilant, the mind can become cluttered with the wrong things, negativity, self-doubt, and lies that rob us of clarity and purpose. Do not tolerate these invaders. The negative thought that says you are not good enough, remove it. The critical voice that echoes past failures and tells you that you will fail again, remove it. The constant comparisons that steal your joy and make you question your worth, remove them. These are not truths, they are imposters, and they have no rightful place in your mind. This is not an easy task. The weeds of negativity will try to return, for the mind, like any garden, requires constant care. But with discipline and intention, you can create a mental environment that nurtures your growth. Pay attention to the words you speak to yourself, for they are the seeds most likely to take root. Speak words of affirmation, truth, and possibility, even when they feel distant. Over time, they will grow into the reality you seek. The battle for your mind is not one to be fought later, it is one to be fought now. Clear out what does not belong. Remove the lies, the doubts, and the influences that pull you down. Guard your thoughts fiercely, for they are the soil in which your future is planted. Tend to this garden with care, and it will bear fruit beyond your imagination. There are times when we find ourselves standing at a crossroads, faced with the stark reality that the path we are on is not the one we were meant to travel. It may be a relationship that has run its course, a job that no longer fulfills us, or a habit that leads us further away from who we want to become. These are the moments when we must make a choice. Do we continue down the familiar road, weighed down by the comfort of what we know, or do we dare to step away from the things that no longer serve us? To walk in the direction of your true calling, you must make room for it. And sometimes that means removing the things that hold you back, even if they once seemed indispensable. It's easy to justify staying in situations that are less than ideal, especially when they are familiar. We tell ourselves, it's not so bad, or maybe things will improve if I wait long enough. But here's the truth, waiting for change to happen on its own often leads to wasted years. The only way to change the course of your life is to take action, to choose the discomfort of growth over the complacency of stagnation. The people, habits, and circumstances that drag you down, however small their influence, may seem are holding you back from the person you are meant to be. The longer you tolerate them, the longer you delay the life you are capable of living. Removing them may feel like tearing away a part of your own being, but in reality, you are simply shedding what is not truly yours. It is a painful, but necessary process. This is not about blame or resentment, it is about clarity and growth. It's about understanding that you cannot continue to drag along what is dead weight, whether it is a toxic relationship, an unfulfilling job, or a dream deferred. These things take up space in your life that could be better occupied by the things that will lead you toward your greater purpose. If you continue to cling to them out of fear of change or the illusion of security, you are not being faithful to yourself. Now is the time to act. Remove the people, the circumstances, the habits, and the mindsets that no longer serve you. They do not deserve to occupy any more space in your life. You cannot continue to build your future on the shaky foundation of what is past its time. Tear down what is no longer needed, and you will create the space for something better to take root. Understand that this is an act of love not toward others, but toward yourself. By removing what is not meant to be a part of your journey, you make room for the things that will nurture, challenge, and shape you. It is time to step forward, not later, not tomorrow, but now. Remove what holds you back, and in doing so, take a step toward the life you are destined to live. We live in a world that often encourages us to accumulate more things, more people, more experiences. The idea of success, fulfillment, or happiness is often painted with the brush of having more. But in truth, it is not in accumulation but in subtraction that true growth is found. The people, the things, the obligations we carry are not all meant for us, and it is the act of removing the things that are not aligned with our purpose that clears the way for what truly matters. You must understand that not everything that comes into your life is meant to stay. Just because something or someone is present in your life does not mean they are meant to travel with you on every step of your journey. Some relationships, however well-intentioned, may only serve as distractions. Some commitments, no matter how well established, may only serve to keep you from your higher calling. You may have carried them with you for a time, out of loyalty, habit, or fear of what might happen if you let them go. But the time has come to recognize that they no longer belong on your path. The act of removing these elements from your life is not one of rejection, it is one of clarity. You are not rejecting the people or experiences themselves, but rather the way they prevent you from reaching your fullest potential. You are acknowledging that you cannot move forward carrying what was never meant to be part of the journey. It is a painful act, yes, but it is also an act of liberation. To shed the weight of the unnecessary is to make room for the extraordinary. You may fear that by removing these things, you will be left empty, exposed, or even alone. But the reality is that you are simply clearing away the clutter, the distractions, and the false attachments that have veiled your true purpose. When you make the decision to remove what is no longer serving you, you make space for what is truly valuable: the people, the opportunities, and the experiences that are in alignment with who you are becoming. This is a process of realignment. You are not simply letting go of things, you are recalibrating your life to be more in harmony with your true calling. It is an act of courage, but it is also an act of faith. You are trusting that when you remove what is holding you back, you will find what you need to move forward. And in doing so, you will discover the depth of your own strength, purpose, and capacity to achieve things that you once thought impossible. Time waits for no one, and life is too short to waste on things that do not contribute to your growth. The longer you hold on to what is no longer meant for you, the longer you delay the life you are capable of living. Now is the time to act. Now is the time to remove what is not serving you, to clear the space for what will nurture, inspire, and propel you forward. Take action today, for every moment you wait is a moment lost. Your future is waiting, but it can only begin when you make the decision to remove them right now. In the end, the truth is simple yet profound: the life you desire, the one you were meant to live, is not a distant dream. It is waiting for you, but it will only become a reality when you decide to clear the path that leads to it. The obstacles you face, the doubts, the distractions, the things you have clung to, whether they are people, habits, or false beliefs, are not part of the journey you are meant to take. They are holding you back, chaining you to a life of mediocrity, of unfulfilled potential. It is time to act. Not tomorrow, not next week, but right now. Remove them. Remove the doubts that tell you you're not enough. Remove the fears that paralyze you. Remove the distractions that keep you from your true purpose. Remove the relationships, the commitments, the thoughts that do not serve your growth. For each moment spent tolerating what holds you back is a moment you could have used to step toward the life you are capable of living. Yes, it will be difficult. Yes, it will require courage. But you were made for this. You were made to rise above what limits you, to rise above the comfort of the known and step into the challenge of what could be. The life you dream of is on the other side of your decision to remove what weighs you down. Do not wait for the perfect time, for there is no such thing. The time to act is now. Your future is built not on the things you accumulate, but on the things you release. And so I urge you, do not wait, do not hesitate, remove them right now, and make space for the greatness that lies ahead. You are not just capable of change, you are destined for it. And the moment you decide to remove what no longer serves you, you will begin to experience the true freedom of becoming who you were always meant to be.